All right, so today we're going to learn the technique called black ice. It's very cool. Now the stamp that I used on these stamps is called Natural Silhouettes, and I forgot it at home. So, but I had planned on using a different one anyways, but this was perfect for these cards. I really liked it with the silhouette, but I'm going to be using another one, all right? So that's the stamp called Natural Silhouettes by Gina K Designs. This is the one I'm going to use today to show you can use an even more fuller stamp. And this one is called Holiday Tapestry. It's absolutely beautiful. And Cindy will be ordering more of these, so if you want one, you can just let us know. I'm also going to be using Mary paper. Mary paper is reflective paper. I'm using silver and I'm using gold. And we have this 5 sheets for $5.99. We have the gold and the silver. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do it. So the things that you need is Versamark, the watermark stamp pad, and then you need, they call, on the videos that I watched, they said StazOn or an archival ink. This is a pigment ink, but this is what I used and it worked. So, and then you need clear embossing powder, and you also need a heat gun. Okay, so I'm going to use my heat embossing gun. All right. Okay, so what you do is, I'm going to do some samples first, and then I'll do the one that I want to put on my cards. Or if these, we'll see what happens here. Alrighty. Just going to take my stamp out. Okay, so what you do is you take your ink pad, all right? And maybe I will just do it because I know it's going to turn out. You just take it, and with the edge of your ink pad, you just run it across your card. Well, look at that. Okay, now that's a very good example because with this ink, and you don't like it, it rubs right off. Where if you were using a StazOn ink, it would stay on. So that's the advantage of using this. Okay, so I'm just gonna take it, and you want it to be more solid on the edge, and then you just kind of want to lightly drag it down like that. And then I'm gonna do the same on this end. Now you have to be careful not to touch it, so you can put, and then you just go like that. See how it's streaking it? So I actually like using this ink because then you can just wipe it off if you don't like it. So I'm going to put a piece of paper over this, and then I'm going to do it again. That's better. Now what you see, I've got a line there. What I did was I just took a paintbrush and kind of softened it up so it wasn't so noticeable. All right, so now I've got that. I'm just going to clean up my ink. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp on it. So I'm going to take my stamp, and I'm going to stamp on it using the same black ink. So I want to be careful picking that up. Put the lid back on here. put it in here like that. Just want to soften this up. I don't want it to stick. So I'm going to put this on like that. I'm probably going to pick this up because it's a brand new stamp. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to, oops, wrong one. So I'm going to ink this up. And then I'm going to put it on here. Well, looks pretty good. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry this. So I'm going to take that off. And I'm going to dry it. Now the reason you want to dry it is because we are going to be using Versamark on top of it. So I want to dry it. Now the reason, let's see, that's still wet. I'll just, now this isn't going to dry totally because, so I'm using a Versamark that is contaminated because if I was using a StazOn ink, it would dry, where this is pigment ink, so it's not going to totally dry. But it seemed to work okay on my other one, so I'm going to try it. All right, it looks pretty just like that. Okay, so now I'm going to put, now you're supposed to drag this over, but I'm afraid to drag it. And you know, actually, when I think about it, why wouldn't the embossing powder just stick if it's wet? Wouldn't it just stick to that? I'm going to try it. This is just a try. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not even going to bother with the VersaFine because I don't have the right ink here. So I'm just sprinkling this on, and it's just going to stick wherever there's ink. The VersaFine would give it a shinier look. The second one will do it with VersaFine. Maybe, but I think this will work. I just thought of that now. Okay, and now I'm going to heat that. Yeah, I didn't even need the VersaFine. Okay, so there it is, and you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see the streaks in it from the ink. See that? It's very, very pretty. Very pretty. Okay. So now I'm going to do a gold one. I'm going to take my ink and just rest it there and drag it down. Maybe a little bit. What? Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to stamp it. So I'm just using my black ink. And all. And you can also use stamps like, I'll show you after. Okay, lift that up. That looks pretty good. Oh no, I'm gonna add a bit more. I missed a leaf or two there. There we go. Okay. Now I'm probably gonna cut some of that off. And I do have some lines here that I think I'll just take a paintbrush and soften those up. Okay. All right, so I'm going to omit the Versamark, and I am just going to, I think I'm going to dry it just a little. So it doesn't go too blobby. But because this is a non-porous, that's why my ink will not set, because it's non-porous. That's why archival, I guess, or the StazOn for sure, will be much better. Okay, so now I'm going to take it. You have to really hold it by its edges. I'll just sprinkle this on. I'm gonna tap it off. There we go. And now I will heat it. And you do have to be careful when you're heating the metallic paper, the Mary paper, because it can bubble. There we go. And there's that one. You can see the streaking in it. Of course, it looks nicer in person. Okay, those. I'm just going to put my cards together, and then I'll try a few other things with it, okay? Okay, so I have my cards here. I'm using top fold cards. And at my okay. I'm looking for, there it is. Alrighty, let's put this on. So I'm going to put that on my mat. And I'm going to cut this. No, this one I put like that. Oh, that's pretty. And then that looks so pretty. I have this to go here. That looks a little crooked. There. Unfortunately, I need some sympathy cards. So there we go. There's one. I hope you can see how pretty that is. Okay, and then this one. I'm going to put this on here. Like that. And then I just took a piece of ribbon. And I just tied a knot in it. Like that. And then I just put it on like that. And I used some Sukwang tape. And you want to do this prior to putting it on your card so that you can wrap it around the back. Okay? So I'm just going to take that tape backing off. Easier said than done. There, whoops, there we go. And then I'm just going to place that across like that. And then just wrap it around the back. Okay? So I think that looks pretty. Put a little extra tape right there. This is a top folding card, and I'm just going to put that on there. There we go. So that is called Black Ice. And as you see,